Sometimes we will gather people and ask them to write their problems. They will write their problems and we'll carry it to the old site, to one of his prayer grounds, and keep it there for him. He will keep reading it. After about 2 to 3 months, he will come out, those things he read from those people's problem, he will come to predict them. He will come to prophesy them. People from overseas, the same thing. About the healing, the so-called miracles. Miracles of what we call miracle of crippled people. I bought 4 wheelchairs for TB Joshua in the church. What we call miracles of cripple healing, like that of Mr. Maxwell E.J., that wheelchair was bought by me. Maxwell E.J. got drunk, and when he was stepping down from his story building, he fell off and hit his waist. And he had a sprain. When he came to us, we now brainwash this man that unless he sits on a wheelchair, he will not gain the access to see the man of God. And we brainwash the whole family. You can imagine how powerful the game of brainwash is. And you see people crying, begging him as if that cry, they started from home. Why the show? Why do we have to show the whole thing? How they are crying, begging him, Papa, please help us. All those things are manipulation. I bought the wheelchairs. That wheelchair that Maxwell used was one of the 4 wheelchairs I bought. There's a woman we also call Mama Jaye Jaye from a place called Bini in Nigeria. I bought the wheelchair. The wheelchair again for Hyacint. Well, these 4 wheelchairs were being recycled among all the whole people they bring. When they bring you, we brainwash you to sit on wheelchair. Are we talking about?
Disciples were not allowed contact with the outside world, and the only television sets tuned to public stations in the synagogue were in his office. Joshua has a morbid hatred for all genuine ministers of the gospel. He will deride, abuse, and curse ministers while watching their TV broadcasts.
The ministers in Nigeria, big top ministers, David Oyedepo, the Redeemed Pastor, Pastor Adeboye, Michael Okonkwo, I've seen their pictures whereby he will ask the prayer warriors to put their pictures under his shoes. You know, these are the spiritual work he normally do, and he will use the shoes to be walking on his prayer mountain. Sometimes he will be using hammer to hit on these pictures because he doesn't want them to say anything negative against him. He does not want them to say anything about him.
Spies with recording devices were sent into various churches to monitor those who opposed TB Joshua. Rejected and derided by the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, TB swore revenge. Using his doctored videotapes and staged miracles as his major thrust, he convinced the nation that he was bigger than all other churches.
He used us to pass wrong informations. He used us to stamp against people, against other ministries. He sends us out into churches, load our phones. We load our phones up to 10,000, 15,000, 20,000. Inside those churches, people will be talking, whatever the pastor is talking will be recorded. We dial a call. When we dial his number, the number will be reading in his office and these things will be recorded. So many things about TB Joshua. He is an epitome of deception. He tells people, when people come there with problems, we cancel them, especially the HIV, serious sicknesses. They should not take drugs. They should keep blessing water in the name of the God of TB Joshua. And people did that. And I'm telling you, they died in their thousands. But himself, TB Joshua himself, call me tomorrow face to face, I'll tell him. He takes drug. He sends our canteen woman, Mama Mike. She will go to Koto Market and buy herbs from herbalists. And we cook for him. He pours it. Mrs. Igodu will buy it. They will prepare it for him and put it in the fridge. He'll be drinking it. What a deceitful life. People who have toothache in the church, he will tell them, no, bless water, and don't take any drug, don't go to the hospital. But we have extracted the teeth of more than 50 disciples in the hospital. If any problem, you go to hospital. But members are dying daily. He has caused much harm to this country. He has caused much harm to the whole world. What about those that come in? After he has finished them up, he will send them to their countries and they will die. Is it the people we say we are healing? The Igbo people? The same drug, you will see they display their drugs in their present. Those drugs are not being thrown away. We pack them in. We look at them. If it is not much, we will search for them in Nigeria or the equivalents. We will mix them and put into the fruit juice they will be taken. If they spend 1 week in synagogue church, when they go back before the next 2 days, the problem will start. And when they call to tell us the attack has started again, we tell them it is their sin. They should confess. Because everybody, it's a taboo for you to, nobody, even if you are married, you will be separated with your wife. If you are lucky, if you want to sleep with your wife, he is the person who will tell you when to sleep with your wife. He will tell those in disciples who are married and their wives are living at home and while they are in the quarters, he will tell them when to have sex with their wives, either once or twice in a year, and he will give them pass to go and sleep with their wife and come back the following morning. So if you try that without his permission, you are in trouble. That is tantamount to rebellion. You are rebellious. Even you will not. Where will you see your... If you go to synagogue church, as I'm talking now, you will see women there, you will see ladies there who joined him at the age of 15, 13, 14. He disvirgin all of them. He has been sleeping with all of them. They are now 35, 40. Some of them are 35 to 38. Some are 31. They are not yet married. They are just there for his luxury. He sleeps with them, does anything he likes with them till today. Die. I cannot. So after a lot of consideration, I now say, okay, I decided within myself to move to Eburi Mountains to go and just stay. Not that I was not going to pray because I have lost confidence in God. I cannot pray to God. What kind of God is that? I just wanted to go and stay there. But unfortunately, things changed. When I got to the mountain, the first day, second day, I was still strong. The third day, I was weak. I could not control myself. I fell into a trance or a dream or whatever. I had a dream, and in that dream, I had so many things, you know, it's a long dream, you know. And after the dream, I slept again the following day.
The number of the beast may not work in the less educated parts of the world, but his blasphemous name and his mark will communicate to even the unlearned. Many accredited Bible scholars have wondered about the spiritual significance of the mark of the beast. And we believe that a further inspection of the Nigerian Antichrist will give a clue as to what the globe should expect when the main Antichrist arises. In the early days, Fatai Balogun, also known as T.B. Joshua, will give each of his victims several occult totems to help their prayer life. This often included a picture of himself and a special marking on a piece of paper. As the fake church expanded from its humble beginnings, from a diviner's heart into the monolith it has become, T.B. Joshua cleverly retained the special markings on the prayer stickers that each devotee and general member had to possess. These mystical stickers are designed to conceal the markings. An undiscerning person could easily overlook the squiggly Arabic marking in the right-hand corner of this sticker surrounding the Holy Spirit. The Marabu, called T.B. Joshua, explained these markings as a special gift of spiritual power that God gave to him. With great daring and a total lack of conscience, Fatai T.B. Joshua invented a new thing called miracle administration to satisfy the longings of millions for the embrace of God's supernatural hand. That miracle administration has also spawned a parallel propaganda machine that will have made Nazi Germany's Goebbels jealous. The sheer size of the deception is now unfathomable, but the most audacious triumph of the miracle administrators was the so-called raising of Baba Marule from the dead.
We got to know that the old man in his condition was sedated. He was given sleeping injection with the situation he's having. he was sedated so that he will not know what is happening in his environment.
This kind of atrocities could only be perpetrated in a nation where life has little value and the government healthcare is a complete failure, leaving the masses at the mercies of charlatans. The sheer size of the deception is now mind-boggling, and it has now become an industry where ambitious and godless persons acquire the tools to set up false churches to sacrifice the blood of innocents to the gods they secretly worship. By the time you are through with the mark of the beast, you will not but wonder why the real church, the government, and a promising nation like Nigeria permitted such a monster to operate unchecked.